Good morning, you wonderful, beautiful witness people. I can feel the witness. I can feel it. I can feel it right now. I'm not muted. No, wait. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not even muted. Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah, James. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. So, you know, this morning me and my sidekick Wiley were enjoying a fine Fred's muffin from an establishment that has turned its life around. The same establishment that got angry at me for putting stickers up that said humanity is not a virus on their menus and their doorways and their kiosk. Well, that lady's been fired and there's a new person in charge, and they brought back the old staff that has known me for years. I walk in like Norman Cheers and they're like, James! And I'm like, what's up? And they give me this muffin. It's great. And so I'm enjoying my muffin this morning, and I hear this rumble. I hear this rumbling sound. Not only do I hear this rumbling sound, but I hear this strange beep. Not strange at all, actually. I know exactly what it is, but it's that beep, beep, beep. And you know something's coming. Something this way comes, and the rumbling grew louder, and this truck pulled in. It has me cornered in my cul-de-sac, in my warm-de-sac, as I like to call it. That's right. I live in a warm-de-sac, see? Can't accuse me of changing words around. Nope. I live in a warm-de-sac, and cornered me in my warm-de-sac and was backing up, beeping at me, and was coming to take my dumpster. I'm freaking out. The dumpster's not supposed to go today. It's supposed to go tomorrow. Right? So I go outside. I run to the dumpster. I say good morning to him. I've probably got muffin on in my beard. I might have it now. I don't know. And he rolls down his window and he's got a freaking toothpick. And I'm like, oh my God, this dude's got it. He's freaking armed with a toothpick. The dude has it could have been a matchstick. That's like old school toothpick, right? And he's looking down on me because he's like 2 stories up in his truck. And his truck's making so much noise that he can't even hear me as he's like backing up and he's trying to take the thing. And I'm like, dude, you're not taking my dumpster. No dumpster today-o. Day-o, no dumpster-rito. No, 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 no. No beep, go, go, go. He finally decided he should open the door, and we have a conversation. And it turns out, as I explained to him, that if I'm going to rent a dumpster from you for 9 days, I get it for 9 days from the time you dropped it off, not from 9 days when I requested that you drop it off. Okay? These are different things. Different things entirely. So we called the office called the dispatch called the office back. We got it all cleared up. And the dude was grumbly. He was grumbly. He was really mad that he didn't get to take the dumpster. And the irony of it is that everything in the dumpster is garbage. I don't want any of that. In fact, if he was to go and never come back, I would be completely destroyed. It would change the entire real estate of my home. If he was to say, you know what, fine, fuck you, keep the dumpster. That would be awful. And I know that the other neighbors they do it. They do this because I've seen them do it with other dumpsters. They just throw their trash, their household trash, in the dumpster. And once you get one bag in there, it's over, people. It is over. No. It is over at that point. Because there now you got compost. Once you have a compost in the dumpster, that's called an elevated raised bed, right? That's just gardening. It's really that simple, okay? So this whole experience is just like, and if he could have heard me, he would have heard me say, "Hey, isn't it ironic that I'm begging you to please not take this garbage away, but actually I need another day?" And I do. I need another day. And I knew that. I've systemically thrown things in this dumpster. Oh my gosh. Oh man. It's almost full. But I'm going to need to complete the all the deck projects. I need a landing. I'm going to make it out of wood, so it'll be Knots Landing. I'm thinking of calling it Knots Landing and incorporating some wood with it. But on Knots Landing, in order for Knots Landing to be built, I need to tear down some other stuff, and I just haven't had time to do that. So I'm doing a short show today, although I've been talking a lot, so who knows. And then I'm going to go get back on my dumpster. And I really hope that tomorrow he comes back. And I've also been terrified that they might inspect my garbage and decide what I'm allowed to throw away and what I'm not. I have a really big paranoia about that. I've been noticing. I was in the restaurant. I need some like interlude music right now. Do I have interlude music right now? I don't think so. I it, the I no, that's not it. No, it was actually something. Anyway, I was in the restaurant business for a bit, and I always think it was real, but believe it or not, the mafia really does run a lot of garbage services. They just do. Any of you in chat who maybe are in the mafia or knows someone in the mafia, not trying to offend you here. I don't think there's anything wrong with garbage. I think it's a respectable line of work, actually. In fact, I think it's very dilating. I would think that if you had to ask me, James, what do you want to do? Do you want to be a garbage man or do you want to work at Blockbuster Video? Yeah, that shows you how old I am. But seriously, like that's like the last. I would be garbage man, like hands down. Like, oh my god, please let me be a garbage man. Holy fuck, please let me be a garbage man, please, please. And you get to hang off the back of a truck. You are attached to the intimacy of every home. You get this whole radar coming in through your nose of what kind of people live in each place. I just think you'd find it fascinating. I would imagine that you could probably start to detect, oh, someone's going off to college. Oh, look at that. No, now we got some empty nesters. You know what? I bet you this house will be for sale in 3 years. I can tell by the garbage. Look, there are no red peppers in here. They've lost the zest in their marriage. The whole empty nest thing's kicking in. I give this house 8 months. I think you could smell that. And I think garbage men do. But really, I'm getting way off tangent. That's a tangent inside a tangent, which technically should get us back around. How many tangents make a normality? Is it 4? This is like another tangent, so that's 3. Anyway, it's all set. Now, bringing this to you because I was working on this presentation for you. For me, too. Hey. It's like you put your calories into yourself and then they go out of your fingers. And then if others witness them and find flavor in your calligraphy, right? It doesn't go the other way where it's, I will feed you first. And then after I've fed everyone, if there is anything left, I will maybe take a bite myself. Oh, no, we're not doing that. That's what gets us Zionism. We don't want that. With garbage, yes. But I was working on this presentation. It would have been better. But calling those 3 people, keep in mind that I had to keep him at bay while his truck is rumbling and he's chewing the fucking matchstick at me. And I'm on the phone with his boss. And the entire dynamic is like, this is like fucking whacked. Oh. But it's the mafia. You know? I could get a call tomorrow. James, This is Republic Services. We're calling to inform you that we will not be picking up this dumpster on this day, the day of my daughter's wedding. We will not be picking up the dumpster tomorrow either, James. Or the next day, James. That's right, James. Right? So it was a delicate thing. Took a while. Guys, before we start the presentation, really proud to announce there's a new episode of Crow out. Hoping someone can paste the link, please, in chat for my Rockies and for the YouTubers. Really great episode. Crow really kind of blew my mind with some cool stuff on this one. Added to the entire presentation that maybe some of you saw, Notre Osiris, the Notre Dame story. It would appear that others are resonating with the idea that, holy shit, there's a ritual happening right in front of us and only some of us can see it. And hermetically, this seems to be some sort of like leverage crowbar. There's a pun. Crowbar that pries open the hermetics of those who see, right? The whole thing is just really cool stuff. Highly recommend you check out that episode. Really excited about that. Definitely please check out that episode. And looks like there's a... Is that for the Crow episodes arc? I bet you it is. But there you go. So please check that out. On to today's presentation, the commissioning of truth. When I was in the military, I never received a commission because I went in as enlisted. I didn't want to be an officer because that would mean I'd have to go to college and then enlist. And I just wanted to go to college, man. I don't even know why I wanted to go to college. I just thought my mom would like me if I went to college. And so I did. That's why I went to college. And I had to pay for that. And to do that, I joined the Navy. And yeah, I didn't get a commission. But there was a magic. The commission, first time I noticed the word commission, it was a magic. It was a bequeathing. And if you graduated from college in feminist studies, you could join the Navy and you would have a bequeathing. You would be commissioned as an officer. And the moment you were commissioned, you were made authority. You are given the emperor's clothes of authority. And with that comes a lot of stuff. White collar, same thing, right? Blue collar, white collar, okay? Exact same thing. Enlisted, officer, right? All throughout most of the world, you see this kind of division. It's very it's the red and white stripes. Goes all the way back to Egypt, right? Even on Morocco, right? The red chief, white chief, war chief, and peace chief, right? You had two completely different governments that operated depending if they were war or if we were peace. And you had one person that decided, let's go to fucking have war. Then the red government comes in. And it's like, fuck you guys. You guys are annoying me. Let's have peace. And then the white government rolls in. It's a fascinating way of doing things, isn't it? We just never left the red chief, that's all. That's all America's been. It's just red chief. Just nothing but red chief. Kono Takarius. His name was Kono Takarius. His name was not George Washington. His name... Man, this is a way big tangent. We're like now in settler Frontierville. But George Washington, Kono Takarius, was the man who burned villages. And the land knows your name. And the land called him that. He was Kono Takarius. We've been Red Chief since day one. That's why we couldn't have a turkey as a mascot. Nope, got to be an eagle. Turkey, White Chief. Eagle, Red Chief. See? Red Chief. Eagle holds, right, arrows and peace laurel. But that peace laurel, it's freaking covered in smallpox, you know. Oh, but James, there's no such thing as smallpox. It's like, guys, look, I think that it's beautiful to think that all of germ theory is completely bunk, and that's fascinating. And in addition to that, I hope that you have calories to apply to the essence of contagion, that there is a contagious EMF energy that does actually exist. And you can contagify your neighbor. You can be contagified by someone else if you are not holding your field, or precisely because of how you're holding your field. And I'm all for terrain theory, but I also want you to know that you are terrain too, and that inside of you is this vulnerability that you think sometimes is permeability, and a permeability that you really thought was vulnerability, and that this is part of what we're trying to do, is learning how to keep our pores just the right size. This is sphincter control on a billion eye level. What is the true image of an angel? It's something that flies with a million eyes, isn't it? It's covered in eyes. What are your pores? The pores of your skin are eyes. You electrically see the world. Piloelectricity, right? The ability for the hairs on your hands to stand erect is an electrical circuit. Why? Because those are eyes. You just haven't learned to see out of these eyes yet. Actually, you have. You do know how. But we're walking around in a culture where chaka no see through pores. Chaka in world where dumpster become important priority. Chaka learn to hold self in front of man who chew matchstick, wanting Chaka's garbage. Chaka protect Chaka's garbage for 24 hours. Then Chaka want garbage gone. Chaka demand you take garbage. Chaka on interesting vitriolic alchemical journey. Chaka no have time for piloelectrically seeing out of his pores. Right? Chaka want get back to his muffin. Man, there's a lot to talk about there. Jeez. Piloelectricating yourself is becoming an angel. Do you understand? Dilating. Remember, dilation is a throttle. It's built into your consciousness, how much consciousness you see. And if you open your aperture, I know that in your mind you think, oh, you see more. And yes, you do. You will see parts of reality that others find painful. That is true. We know that that's true. You will hear more, right? Because parts of reality you will like, did you hear the subtle way he said that? And it's like, no, because I don't want to see anything that might be painful, right? So you hear that too. And we've told about, you have melanocytes, melanin extractors inside your ear. Remember that, inside your nose, so you smell. But, guys, do you understand how huge it's going to be? When you dilate so much that you're seeing out of your coat of many colors? When you're seeing out of the pores of your skin? Dudes, it's like, in the back of the magazine, the x-ray glasses, see-through ladies' clothes. It's like that, but like a trillion times more profound and not really that creepy. If I could I see underneath a girl's dress if I could see out of all my pores? Maybe. I'm going to say I don't think that it probably does give you any kind of like weird thing like that, but you will start to render the entire spectrum of who's around you, and it's only going to matter if you want to, right? There's only certain corners you're going to want to see. Some of you don't want to go behind the 7-Eleven and see what's going on back there. I don't blame you. Broken glass, bottle caps, Sharp rocks. There's a dumpster back there. Controlled by a guy with a toothpick in his mouth. He comes and picks it up every Tuesday. It's not like mine. It's one of those short, boxy ones, right? There's all kinds of things happening back there. Not everyone wants to see that, right? And if we're going to really have anarchy, if we really want anarchy here, shouldn't we accept that not everybody's going to want to see that? And if they're not going to want to see that, what are they going to do? They're going to have to build a cult. And when they build that cult, it's going to help them not see it. They're walking around going, I not see. Do you not see? I do not see either. It's going to be a bunch of Nazis wandering around going, we don't see that. We do not see what's behind the 7-Eleven. We don't. That's why you need a 9/11. And that's where you get commission. That's where you get commission. Let's see. I still cannot get this thing to show right, so you're just going to see it with the sideburns here, sorry, on the presentation here. What if the attack could have been stopped? This is the 9/11 commission stuff. And I'm bringing this up because I really want to push more into the layers of this magma of belief. And I say that, we'll come back to this, but this all shows you just the truth, the truth of this phenomenon. You guys know the Warren Commission? I have not read the Warren Commission. Do you know why? Because it's 27 volumes, 19,200 pages. 27 volumes. This report that he's handing there, that is not the entire report. That's one of 27 volumes. Actually, that's a summary talking about the 27 volumes. The 27 volumes easily take up 3 shelves of a book. And what is it? It's the official Warren Commission report on the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. And who was Warren? Warren was Chief Justice Warren. And when LBJ said, hey Warren, I want you to form a commission over here to investigate that JFK was assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald, and Lee Harvey Oswald was shot by Jack Ruby, and I want you to be in charge of the investigation. And do you know what Warren said? Warren said, well, this is a crime. This would require a criminal investigation. I'm a Supreme Court judge. I'm not a criminal judge, nor am I a criminal investigator, nor do I have a DA's office that I can solicit to find a conviction. Do not have the staff for this. Do not have the manpower for this. I do not have the authority to do this. That's what Warren said. And you know what LBJ said? Yeah. It's a matter of national security. We're gonna need you to do this. And because of national security, the entire process, judiciary or indictment process, investigatory, excuse my language, investigating process was ignored. And Warren was presented with a supposition. The supposition was JFK was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, who was shot by Jack Ruby. I need you to oversee a commission that explains all of that. And that if you were to explain all of that, it would provide the nation with national security, because we're afraid the nation might think that this assassination wasn't what we're telling you it is. Imagine that, Warren. We're afraid that people might think that what we're telling you happened didn't happen. And so in order to make sure that people are assured that we're not just telling you something that happened that didn't actually happen. We're going to bypass the entire criminal process, and we're going to ask you to head up a commission and give us a report. Does that sound nice? You going to go do that, Mr. Warren? You going to go do that, or you want to take a little canoe trip with my buddy Fredo over here? Yeah, Fredo? Why don't you take Mr. Warren out back and show him the dumpster? Show him what's behind the 7-Eleven. And that's all it took. And I'm not the only one who knows this. Read the Warren Commission if you want. No, I haven't read it. But read the sections. Just look at the sections. Section 2 is assassin. Section 1 is the facts. What are the facts? JFK was shot by Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald was shot by Jack Ruby. Section 2 was the assassin. And it was a character analysis of the only suspect. It wasn't even a suspect. It was a convicted person. This is who did it. A commission was given. An authority was set on the floor like a 20-yard dumpster. It was laid there. And all you could do is on the commission is fill it up. That's all you could do. And it's 20 yards. And you have 9 days. And if you're not done in 9 days, we're taking this dumpster. We're taking this commission. Why? Because we're done. Because it's over. What happened is done. We already know what happened. You just need to fill out 27 volumes, 19,200 pages, explaining why it happened that way. I don't say this lightly. What I mean by that is that the exact same thing happened with the 9/11 Commission. It's the exact same process. The process. Hey, Condi. Frickin' A, man. These 19 dudes with no shoes on. They got on a plane, they hijacked it and with 19 box cutters and fooled the most sophisticated, advanced, expensive military ever formed. And managed to knock down 3 buildings with two planes. And none of us caught them. And no one did anything wrong. So no one should get fired. And there's $27 billion missing. The place where they landed, man, it was like the worst possible place. You could crash a plane right there. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. Yeah, that was where we kept a lot of cash. It was like a lot of cash. And the only records that proved where that cash was were also right there. Yeah, it was a traveler's check, right? It was a money order. If it was a traveler's check, see, we should have gotten traveler's checks, honey. Condi, we should have gotten traveler's checks, but it was a money order. It was made out to the U.S. government for $27 million. $1 trillion. Yeah, it was trillion, wasn't it? So for a lot of trillion. How many trillions was it, David Rumsfeld? How many trillions was it? It was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, Condi. Money order. What are you going to do? Yeah. It burned up. And miraculously, this passport did not burn. It's weird, right? It's like, this passport did not burn, but this money order totally burned. Yeah. Yeah. Building 7 was tired. Had a long life. Living in New York. All these dumpsters going around. Everyone beeping at them all the time. That's all they do is drop dumpsters off. They'd scrape the bottom of them, you know. All that greasy slime rolls out. Why? Because people throw their household garbage in there. That's a construction dumpster. You're not supposed to be doing that. But Building 7, no one understood him. This is all it takes is these commissions. And all you have to do is just write it down. That's all it takes. And the reason why is not because these guys are clever and it's not because these guys are evil. It's because people like us, the people you're surrounded by, believe it. And do you know why they believe it? Of course you know why. Because you watch this show. And you know why? Because you see these different levels. You understand that manners are a thick crust. And many people would consider to question something that's been commissioned as a breaching of manners. And if the politics involved, the people that appointed those commissions were the same color as you, well, you can't breach that. Therefore, these rumors must be true, because this is as thick as we can go. It's a 5-kilometer belief. And it doesn't happen because those people are clever. It happens because we are learning to grow our belief. Our belief is a textured sprout of plasma. It's formulating this plant, this living organism that requires feeding from you. To hold your belief requires you to give it nutrients. Your garden has only so much real estate, right? The pores around you can only emit so much belief from them. And that this structure is going to be an economy that you use to formulate what's important to you, all the way down to your preservation. And you give this commission yourself. The very birth of I Am is this commission. You work the exact same way. I'm telling you, the beliefs that you have are going to be an amalgamation of different layers of these things. And not all of them are going to be structurally sound, but they're important that you keep them. And that mass psychosis is the same way. Mass psychology fits the same way. That this is our authority, and our authority can't be wrong, because if our authority can't be wrong, well, that means we would have to be the authority. And that sounds hard. Let's just do this instead. Let's send out a commission. Let's make them bulletproof. Let's make it where no one can question them, because it would breach the very fabric of manners itself. And give them so much authority and so much confidence that there's absolutely no way that anyone could say no. I'm going to keep saying this because it should be more profound. 25% of the people in jail who were exonerated with DNA evidence, who were proven innocent with DNA evidence, made a confession, a false confession to their authority, because that's how powerful it was. This government makes truth by squeezing it out of its sphincter. And all it takes is a commission. That's all it takes, is one of these or one of these. Whoops. That's all it takes. And what are we doing now? Science Magazine created COVID Commission. The Brookings Institute, America needs a COVID-19 commission. I told you the definition of SADS. I hope you've looked it up if you doubted me. The definition of SADS is anyone that suddenly dies from myocardial problems, and we're not willing to admit why it died from SADS. Okay, the actual definition, and we don't know why, which is the same as we're not able to admit, died from SADS. It's this. It's this. The zetical level of what's happening never is breached because the manners and the politics and the rumors and the superstitions are too thick. The magma is crusty and lives on the top. Yep, SADS and SIDS. You're staring through the gaping hole of human consciousness, and you're seeing how weak it is. You're seeing the infant. You're seeing the infant nature of it. I don't even mean this in a critical, like, oh, look how stupid. No, I think it's the same kind of applications we would apply to a child. They say a crow is basically the equivalent of a 7-year-old child. And so I will not expect things from a crow that an 18-year-old needs. The fact that you were able to render more consciousness than everyone else is a privilege you have. It is not a way of leveraging torque and how shitty everything is. Part of you have entered into a hermetic staircase. And the fact that you would not give a false confession already proves that you're an adept, that you're a cleric. It already makes you a member of this Golden Dawn. And you're looking for the Ubermensch to be this, well, it's got to be like this Brody character, right? Who like flies and like he's got like eyes in his fucking pores and shit. Then we'll be ready. And no. Stop looking for a chief. You are chief. You. And I know that doesn't sound comfortable. And you're like, but I just wanted a fucking chief. I know. And you've got one. And he's being kind of bitchy right now because he won't own up to what he's supposed to do. You're that chief. And more are coming, but it's going to take a while. And you're not going to be able to hold out. You got to do this yourself. And how do you do that? It's really no problem. It's really not a problem at all. It's actually fun. You just got to witness all of your layers like this. You just got to witness them all and just watch them flow. You don't have to fix anything because witness is the fix. Witness is all it takes. When you think what you think it is that you're seeing with your eyes is actually what your consciousness is finally able to accept. It's able to accept it so much that it fucking renders what it would look like to your eyes. That's really what's happening with reality. If you don't believe me, look at my Eye of Ra presentation. Because it's exactly how reality is rendered to you. SADS is sudden, they changed it. Adult, yeah, but it's got the word heart in there. Yeah. Sudden adult death syndrome. No one knows why. Oh, what could be the reason why these people are suddenly dying? Could be the toxic. No, what could be the reason? What? Sir, it was on their 4th booster. There's got to be a reason somewhere. Somewhere. And right now, 1 in 700,000. CDC admits, hey, 1 in 700,000 of you is going to get Guillain-Barré syndrome. That's expected. But Harvard tells you, hey, Only 1% of all these vaccine injuries are even reported because of just blatant denial. 1%. Which means 1 in every 7,000 people, not 1 in every 700,000. 1 in every 7,000 people now have a neurological disorder. What could be the reason for this? Maybe it's that. No, it's got to be some sort of a reason. I bet it's because we're racist. I bet it's because we're too white. Right? Whatever the piping hot commission is going to report on is going to fit. Drink to that. You have your own commissions. And you're watching the government do the same. Government is the lack of you. You know that. You heard it. You've heard it places before. You've heard it places before. All right, guys. We have dojo tonight at 7 p.m. I'm going to go release the Kraken on this porch, old porch landing thing, and the stairs. And I'm going to have to say goodbye to throwing away some tools. Tools that I've kept that have just been, they're not repairable, and I've just been too much of a sentimentalist to let go of. But I know that as I clear these things, and if the guy comes tomorrow, guys, you got to clear. When you clear, you make the vacuum, the space, is the vortex, which brings you what's next. And I can't recommend it enough. It's a really good exercise. So, yeah. Sark's put the Telegram link there for you if anybody wants to join us in the Telegram group. It's pretty crazy in there. It's always a good time. Some good, really good wisdom in there. I wish a lot of that stuff was coming out more on the show. But that's why we've been doing the radio, even though the radio has been sort of like, we've been struggling to keep a constant show going. But that should be done tomorrow. Like I said, the dumpster will go away tomorrow. So, yeah, looking forward to getting back on track. And it looks like all my equipment worked today. That's fantastic. So that is wonderful to see. Let me see if my Rocky's got anything for me here. Yes, that is. Thank you, Graham. The Technology Belief is a great book about that. Yeah, the clearing of the clutter is important. And guys, you know that the reason why we have clutter is because it gives us an ability to associate with things. Do you know why a captain goes down with a ship? It's by choice. Do you know why? Because he is that ship. He's associated with it so much he cannot imagine a life leaving it. And God forbid he leave the ship and someone else saves it, because then it's not a ship anymore. And then you spend the rest of his life going, why did I abandon my ship? Think about it. The word is abandon. It's not leave. The word is get the fuck off the boat. The word is you're going to abandon the ship. And the ship's just like, what am I, chopped liver? What am I, floating chopped liver? Do you see? It's the association with it. That's what this transhumanism stuff that's coming. It's hard to wrap your wings around the lessons in association that's going to bring, and they would be absolutely necessary. This metaverse thing that's coming is truly going to show people how to lose themselves completely, and more importantly, how to plasmatically completely associate all of their energy into literally anything. And you can't call that evil because you roller skated when you were a kid. That's what you were doing when you were roller skating, when you're snowboarding, when you've got a tool in your hand, when you're wearing clothes, when you have your key and you stick it in your car. You're associating into this equipment that we use. You associate into it. When you're holding your best girl's hand, you're feeling her breath. You're associating with her lungs. You're associating with her heartbeat. Same with your kids. Same with the table. When you're sitting down at the table, all of you are associating together in this wood. All of you are sharing in this this cymatic vibration that's happening in the wood. It's be afraid of it, freak out on it, say it's evil, call it satanic, all that. I'm totally okay with that. I've noticed that's always what the outer edge of some difficult lessons will always be. It will have that crystalline structure. Like, oh, crystals, man. Oh, I miss crystals. Like it's those crystalline structures that fold over that you see. They look terrifying, they look beautiful, they look harmonious, they look deadly, they look dangerous, they look liberating, and it's exactly all of those things. That's what the internet is. It's bringing you me. It's bringing me you. It's connecting us in this ways in which we're associating with the fiber optics. Associated with your IP address. You've associated with mine. This stuff's deep, guys. It's deep. Enjoy that depth, man. And realize that most of the people are not at that level. 25% of them are begging for someone. Please tell me the story. Am I a white hat or a black hat? Am I evil or am I good? Am I a Republican or am I a Democrat? Am I going to go to hell or am I going to go to heaven? Just tell me what to believe, because I don't have enough electricity to create my own beliefs. That's what this is for. That's what my talks about ego are for. Where's ego? Ego is I am, Greek for I am. To the very base of this, your very molten core. And the hotter this is, the less crusty this shit gets. Your manners, your politics, your superstitions are nothing when your I am is fully actualized, when it's fully burning. So yeah. Hey, Tides of Truth, I know you're kidding there. I came to this channel to be told what to believe. You're sorely disappointing me. I think that that in some ways I am here to tell you, hey, believe in ego, and then you're supposed to be, well, ego's shit. And then I'm just going to say, yeah, but ego's the source of your pride and reputation. You're like, yeah, but pride goeth before the fall. And I'm like, but pride is what makes you protect your family. Pride is what makes you want a good name. And then you're suddenly like, ego good. See, I'm Chaka too. This is beautiful to be Chaka. But you suddenly go, ego good. Ego good. Ego. Chaka not want masturbate in public anymore. Chaka have shame. Chaka develop individual sphere. Chaka disappoints self. Chaka find new ways of disappointing society, but still not disappoint self. But then Chaka realize inner core needs appointment too. Inner core. Is Chaka disappointed in inner core? And you start to build these freaking things in real time. And others see it too. And they stop calling for, you're Luciferian. They stop doing that. They're suddenly like, wow, never thought about it that way. So, yeah, maybe in some ways I am here to tell you what to think. It's kind of like what a restaurant is kind of here to tell you what to eat. Oh, well, we have choices, James. Yeah, but come on. Come on. Come on. Whatever you order, it's going to go back there. And Reggie's going to put on the plate exactly what he decided he was going to feed you. Right? Now you get to decide, this restaurant shit. This guy doesn't know how to cook. Right? So yeah, Maybe that is part of it. Maybe this is part of our process. We're pollinating each other, right? Ideas are pollen. You want a little pollen with that idea? Do you? Do you? A good restaurant provides a menu of only good dishes. I would disagree. I would think a good restaurant is going to be more based. See, this is exactly what I mean. A good restaurant, what does that mean? Is it means one that's successful, one that stays open, one that's prolific, one that makes people really, really engage in the witness humanity? Or is a good restaurant one that only serves good dishes? I don't know. I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. I think you'll find that actually, I could see a really good restaurant out there going, yeah, let's. I really want to put like one really shitty thing on the menu. I think it's important because it allows us to kind of just remember where we are. Yeah, it's it showcases the rest of them. It could be that someone is doing that. It could be. I'm not saying do it, but it could be. All right, I'm gonna go. You guys think too much. Not trying to argue, by the way. Good restaurant is great. Yeah, take care. Hope you enjoyed it, and please remember this idea about these commissions and about this authority, because it moves all of us more than we think. Even if it's not influencing you personally, it's influencing the pool around you. And there's people in the pool that you care about, and it's influencing them. And that is going to influence you. You're human. You better be. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. And gals. Chaka no understand currency and prana economy. Well, keep watching. We'll talk about it next time. Thank you all. Have a great one.